The President of Mexico has one term and one term only, and that lasts for 6 years. That 6 years is coming to an end for President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, affectionately called Amlo in Mexico. He has a lot of admirers in Mexico, but his detractors as well. But I'm going to stay on the positive side because I think he's a great president. Now, the election is on June 2nd, 2024, and Claudia Sheinbaum has been nominated as the leader of AMLO's party. So she will likely be the next president of Mexico, but that's another story. Now, AMLO accomplished two things in the cities I was in to study Spanish, and that had people buzzing. In Merida, the city where I'm presently blogging from, it was the Tren Maya. The Tren Maya. You never heard of this? But I'll tell you about it. The Tren Maya. In the city of Oaxaca, my next stop, he built a highway from Oaxaca to Puerto Escondido, cutting a torturous trip from 7 hours down to 3 hours. That was amazing. I'll leave details on that one till I get to Oaxaca. You're viewing Travels with Lobo, vlog number 9, El Tren Maya. From Merida, Yucatán, Mexico. There's a relatively new bus system in Merida called Va y Bien, come and go. All you have to do is tap your card and you're ready to go. So by sheer coincidence one day I saw this super modern bus that went to the train station, to the Tren Maya that I'd heard so much about. I couldn't resist going. This super modern bus that goes to the train station is actually not called a bus. It's called a tram, and it's electric. So super modern, but boy, it was empty. It doesn't augur well for the train. Seems to be down there somewhere. Yes, I see it. Wow. Estación Merida Tea, right up there. So I came out here on this really fancy version of the Va y Bien, come and go. Never seen this fancy version. Came out here on the Route 90. But if this train is going to be a white elephant, well, they got the station in the right. They got the station in the right color, a white elephant. Only time will tell if it turns out to be a white elephant. I sure hope not, because this is one hell of a project. This brings me to my first visit to a Tren Maya train station in Merida. And it was a 25-minute tram ride from downtown to the station. It's always exciting to go somewhere for the first time in your life, and this is certainly it for this train station, since it only opened. I never did figure out the irritating noise in the background, but it was there during the entire time of my visit. About a month ago. Wide open. I'll have to see whether maybe I could take it to Campeche and back today. That would be beyond lucky. Well, I quickly found out that trains run rather infrequently, as you can see from the information here. This is not the Côte d'Azur in France, where trains are running continually. It's not the case here. And I also found that it was quite expensive. I believe a one-way trip to Campeche was...
I notice I won't be taking this train anywhere because these are airplane type prices.
45 Canadian dollars for tourist class and 75 for first class. And remember, that was one way only. I was hoping to see a train, but given the relative infrequency with which they run, that was not to be likely. And furthermore, there's security to keep you from going to the trains. You have to have a ticket. That's not unusual, but it was disappointing. The trip from Merida to Campeche is about 2.5 hours by car, so it would be less than 2 hours by train. This Tren Maya is built by Alstom of France, but assembled in Hidalgo, Mexico, 100%. It's actually a consortium made up of Bombardier Transportation Mexico, which is also owned by Alstom, and Alstom Transport Mexico, and a Mexican company called GAMI, Ingeniería y Instalaciones y Construcciones Rurales Procesos Industriales. That's the consortium. So a lot of it is Mexican. And did you see the price? 1 billion euros. That's a lot of chump change. But then you come to the realization that numbers are meaningless in a project like this, because here's an article from the Financial Times which says, additionally, the train costs were also originally expected to be $75 billion, but they've ballooned to closer to $30 billion. That's the equivalent of the GDP of countries like Cambodia and Zambia. That cost is to be raised by taxing tourists who come to enjoy Mexico. The Yucatán Peninsula is known around the world as a tourist destination. We've all heard of Playa del Carmen, Cancún, Tulum. Everybody knows about that, but they also know about the archaeological sites throughout the Yucatán Peninsula. So the train was designed to connect various tourist destinations and archaeological sites across the peninsula. It was designed to boost tourism and regional development while promoting sustainable transportation. Well, here's what the train looks like, and it's not a high-speed train, but fast nevertheless. 42 of these will be built in the Hidalgo plant. Each train can carry 300 passengers. When the network is completely finished, the entire circuit will be 1,500 kilometers, and it will have created 4,000 jobs, plus 7,500 additional indirect jobs. This mega project will cover 5 states: Chiapas, Tabasco, Campeche, Yucatan, and Quintana Roo. So, mega project, not exaggerated. You can see it's extensive, but the parts in red, the red line and the red dots, has not been constructed yet. By the way, the project was approved by a referendum in November of 2019. Is there opposition to this plan? Well, yes, of course. Environmentalists and archaeologists argue that plans to reroute the train line through the rainforest will cause irreversible damage to the environment, threaten ancient Maya sites, as well as threaten the Great Maya Aquifer, which provides drinking water to millions of Mexicans. The success or failure of this project will be worn by President Amlo, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. And just to get back to Earth from one of the loftiest projects I've ever run across, here I am riding the most common of buses in Merida to the Plaza Grande and my hotel, the Casa 57.